Day and YouTube as well as Facebook. And this is a glorious day, despite what they want to recognize this day as being a day of fools. Anyway, with that said, we're now on social media, on 3 social media websites. We're on, according to the monitor, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're also on our conference line privately, being recorded, video recording, as well as audio on our conference line. So with that said, we say Shabbat Shalom Aleichem.
Shabbat Shalom Aleichem.
Shabbat Shalom. And it's a Shabbat Shalom Aleichem. And the reason why we say Shabbat Shalom Aleichem is because this is now, according to the calendar of the Gregorian calendar, this is Saturday. Saturday, April, the first day of April of that calendar, 2023. For the record, although we do not recognize the Shabbat because it's Saturday, we recognize our Shabbat because it's the seventh day of our week, of our calendar. Not to be confused, we don't want to get no one excited to make those think that we have finally given into what they have been doing for hundreds of years, the false Jews. We don't want them to think that we have finally won them over and they have submitted to our Sabbath. No. We are now in the 22nd day of our this year, of our solar calendar. This is the 22nd day of the first month.
Yes, it is.
The first month of our solar year, 6026. And that means that this is also like the third week or the fourth week since we start recognizing the seventh day of our solar calendar week from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. And that will commence for the remainder of this year, all 12 months, until if we be in this country, March 10th, 2024. If we be here, then our Sabbath day will rotate. And although next year of this Gregorian calendar is already constituted to be a leap year, we will not leap over to sundown Sunday to sundown Monday. And that's what that date, March, will be recognized as in March of 2024. You look on your calendars, you'll see that March 10th will be for a Sunday. And that's because they added a day, they're going to add a day on February of next year. That means they're going to give the so-called Negroes an extra day to recognize their Black History Month, February 2024. Nevertheless, we will not be recognizing our next Shabbat, the observance of our next seventh day Shabbat, from sundown Sunday to sundown Monday. We're going to rotate. We're not going to recognize the date. We recognize the day, the seventh day, not the date. If we will recognize the date, then we would be observing our Sabbath day next year from sundown Sunday to sundown Monday of that calendar. So as our Sabbath day rotates, as our Father, my Father, whom many still know and only know is the appellation Yod Wav He, even Beth Nusafeh Yod Wav He, in Hebrew, Hebraic, in English translated as, and I quote, Yahweh ben Yahweh, end quote. God, the Son of God, Father, the Son of the Father. He made it clear in 1986 during the time of the view that our Sabbath day rotates. And I'm here to reiterate that Also remind many and introduce to a few that our Sabbath day is going to rotate. It's going to continue that way as it has before the beginning of this world. So we will be recognizing our Sabbath day for the remainder of this year. Again, I repeat, from sundown Friday to sundown Sunday. It just happens to be that the Jews are following our Sabbath day now. We're not following theirs. They always recognize sundown Friday to sundown Saturday as the Sabbath day because they are false. That means they are standing still. They never rotate. They never move. And it's proven because they always recognize the Sabbath on that day of the week. Days, sundown Friday, sundown Saturday. They standing still. And they're not going to go anywhere. That's a sign. Especially the New Jerusalem, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be stationary from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday every year, even since 1947, when Israel became a state. Independent from the Queen of England, Elizabeth. Poor soul. Nevertheless, as I repeat, once again, we recognize the seventh day of the week. So our Sabbath next year, will be observed from sundown Saturday to sundown Sunday next year. You got it?
Yeah.
This is the law, Shiloh. I am giving you the law as promised. It'll be from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday until March the 9th next year. March the 9th will fall on a Saturday next year, 2024. So on March the 9th, then we will not add 5 days because the days were shortened. We calculated that and made it clear that we are now going into our, I believe, fourth week. We're now going to our 4th week, headed towards sundown May 6th of the 7 weeks, 7 Sabbaths of our Feast of Weeks. We're now in our Feast of Weeks. Shiloh is telling you, I'm also known as Bika. I'm also known prophetically. I left record in a book called Genesis, chapter 49. I told Yaakov, Israel, that I would be known as Shiloh in the last days, the lawgiver. So Shiloh is here. I'm giving the law. The days are not added. Those 5 extra days, the Romans added to that calendar way back before the Christ. Back then, they added 5 extra days to 360. 5 extra days to rule the world, not the planet. So I promised I would come along and shorten the days for the elect's sake. And I did. That means we're not adding on 5 days onto our calendar, our count. As most of the hard-headed ones of my people of Judah that I come to get, they have added on 5 days to our calendar, our count. Not only that, they added on 14 days from the first day. As the Jews lied and tricked them into believing that Passover is right now, that they are now observing the Jews' Passover. This is that first day of observing the Passover feast of unleavened bread, not realizing that my Father and the angels are passing over this whole country right now. And because they're hard-headed, they're going to be right in the path of destruction and danger. It's a part of the mystery. Those who are with me and put the grapes on the blood post, the blood of the grapes on the doorposts, are with me in safety. We're right now sitting in the safest city on the planet. The safest. The only one where you can go walk out right now on South Beach and wear short pants. Or you can go in the water if you like and go for a swim. If you like, today. Opposed to Minnesota where they have a blizzard going on right now, covered with snow. Minnesota is covered with snow. April 1st. But we're here in Miami or Florida, United States, for those who are watching worldwide. This is not the internet. worldwide. And you wonder how prophets said that one day I will gather all nations before me, which is virtually physically impossible to gather over 8 billion people in front of you. Physically. But electronically and by computer that we left in 1947 for them to create this website, it's possible. All nations are gathered before me right now. It's called the internet. And I mean, whoever chooses to, as all eyes will see him. Every eye, not all eyes, every eye will see him if they tune in to international www website, social media. It's also called television. It's called television, internet video recording. Even those who are not able to be here at the present time being live, recording live, they can, when they done what they're doing, can tune in anytime they like, 24 hours a day. And tune in and watch this prophecy unfold itself. All prophecy unfolding themselves right now. They can see me. And they'll also be gathered before me. Not in a position before me, but in front of me, before me. I may not be able to see them through this camera, but they can most certainly see me on that side of the camera, or whichever internet social media they're using. Praise you.
Praise you.
So with that said, now that we have cleared up and we reiterated what our Sabbath day is being observed as sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, we're right almost at the end of it. We're halfway through it now. We're more than halfway. We're three quarters through it. At sundown today, Saturday, sundown in the dark. Sundown will be the beginning of the 23rd day of our first month. The first month. Again, the day is recognized by them as April 1st, 2023. And I'm not fooling anyone. In fact, what you're about to hear in this recording will be guaranteed in your mind, in your ears, that there's nothing to play with. I am not fooling you. I do not have time for games, and I'm not going to even make time to play the games. So with that said, and I also extend on that comment, that what I reveal today, that you would know, if anyone had any doubt, you would know it's me. Because what I'm about to reveal today, no one can except the one who sealed it. Originally in Hebraic, the Hebraic idiom of Hebrew, that was preserved to be revealed today in the tongue that Judah would be speaking in bondage by the men of the English slave masters. It's called England, English. Although Judah is speaking English Creole. So there may be from time to time you may hear me speak in English Creole because I'm reaching my people of Judah that's down to the foot. They're down to the foot. They're to the bottom of civilization today, down to the foot. As I also have our garments here with me today. I have garments here with me today. Garments. You're looking at it from left to right. I look at it as people who are with me here from Mars that I'm meant to be. Write it down. And speaking of writing it down, before I go any further, I did say Shabbat Shalom Aleichem, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that means we're going to have a peaceful Sabbath today.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to ask you to also do is take out your writing utensil, something to write with and something to write on, to take notes. That means alongside your other study tools, you know you're going to need your Bible. So grab the King James Version Holy Bible or grab a Bible, whichever one. Even if they have copied or made a replica of the King James Version, some versions will be very close to what's in the King James Version. As long as you get a word or two out of that, then even in Spanish, even the Lavan, even as you get the Lavan out of that, which is short in English for lavender or purple, although Lavan means something else in Spanish. They know what it means. The Spanish people know what it means. Lava, the clothing, wash your clothes. The garments dye them purple. Then what we're going to do is actually take out the Bible, take out a dictionary. Now, if you don't have these materials that I'm announcing to you right now to take out, we're going to share what we have with us. If you look over my shoulder, in the back of me, there's a giant Bible, there's a giant Bible, a giant dictionary, a giant strong concordance. If you have one of your own, then grab it, strong concordance. There's a giant synonym finder in back of me. We're even going to write. We have a giant chalkboard in back of me, and a typing computer in back of me. So if you don't have it, we'll share ours with you because we most certainly believe that if I have a bowl of soup, you may have half of my bowl of soup. That means you may only see half of the television because I'm on the other half. We're going to make sure you get both halves. Praise you.
Praise you.
Well, we welcome you back, those who have been tuning in, joining us. We welcome you back here on the social media's website. Again, I'm your host, Yod Kashimia. My name is on my forehead in gold with a purple grape skin around my head. This name was prophetically promised to be revealed today. You'll find it in your King James Version Holy Bible. That promise is in Revelation chapter 19 and verse 12. I am the only soul in existence that was created by that was created by God, who you call God. I'm the only one who knew this name as he gave it to me. And now I'm revealing it to the world. Just before the world is destroyed, I'm revealing my name. That means those who can continue to go on and be blessed to go on with us to reach, that great city that's coming down by my from out of the galaxy, from out of the universe, as it come down to this planet. Those who are blessed to be here to see that will also enjoy my name forever. And not only that, if you believe on this name, then you'll be already deemed. You'll be deemed into becoming. You'll be reminded and redeemed to become a son of God, a son of Yod Wahe. As a promise, all you have to do is believe. And it's good news. I come with good news, good tidings today, and I also come with bad news, bad tidings. Also disappointing news for a lot of others. The scriptures of the New Testament were originally hand drafted in Hebrew and Greek, some in German by Martin Luther the monk of Canterbury. So I'm focusing more on those that were originally hand drafted in Hebraic or Hebrew that I left record of, and my Ab left record of that's called the Book of John today of the New Testament. The records that he left behind, they fell into the men of Trent, Europe, churches of Rome, England. They turned them into their English names and titles of what they want to take credit for as apostles or saints. So you have one Bible that has Saint John, and other Bibles just have John with a J. Although back in the days, my was known as Yochanan the Baptist, or John the Baptist, should you prefer in English. That means the entire book that's called John today, the last gospel of the four that begins in the New Testament, is his book. And he made mention of me in that book. All throughout that book, he made mention of both himself and myself. He promised you that he would send someone in his stead, known as a spirit. He's the truth. He would send the spirit of truth. He also mentioned he would send a comforter in John. He mentioned that that comforter would teach you all things. He also mentioned to you in that book that he will also be known as the door and the way and the truth and the life. And that reveals what the Tetragrammaton means. The door, the way, the truth, and the life. You'll see it on my chest here. That's the Tetragrammaton, Yod Het Wav He. That is not the name of God. If that was the case, then how easy would it be for whoever called on the name of God shall be saved? That's ludicrous. You think God was going to save the devils?
Right.
The devils are the ones who created the Tetragrammaton. Why? So they could be saved. They want to lead you to believe that if they call on it, you call on it, they'll all be saved. That's a lie. I ain't come to save no damn devils. Could you imagine? I didn't come to destroy my people. I come to destroy the devil. I also came to fulfill prophecy. Well, it's like telling Cain, you can rule for 6,000 years. If you fail, I'm going to let you continue to go and you can live forever with me. That's what's going on. And now I want to run for re-election. A relative running for re-election. Isn't that ludicrous? That people, the only people that will vote for a criminal are criminals. Did you hear what I just said? The only people that love the devil are devils. The only people that will follow the devil are devils. The only people that will vote for the devil to be over them as a devil is the devils. And the only ones that see and can testify and will also comment that the devil does nothing wrong, no matter what they try and place on the devil, even if he shoots someone and kill him. If the devil murder a whole bunch of people, and even if he says to the social media, in the news media, that if anyone touches him, there will be death and destruction. The only people who will agree that that's not what he really meant, because I don't know what else could be meant behind death and destruction. You can't even get an allegory out of that. You can't get a symbolical out of that, a simile, a metaphor. That's literal. Death and destruction is literal. If you don't believe that, go ask Judah, the whole tribe. That was promised to them in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And they have been facing death and destruction ever since they were punished and violated the law of Shiloh. So anyone who would agree to that, as it doesn't matter if it's death or destruction or whatever you said, I'm following him, then they are following their daddy. They are his angels. And I left record of that in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. Not only does God have angels that are moral, the devil also have angels that are immoral. God, the sovereign God, the celestial God of the universe, the creator of the universe, an architect of it, has his angels, and they are moral, righteous, divine, sovereign, supreme angels. They are good angels. They are blessed and beloved angels. Now, on the other hand, Hallel, he also has angels that are the opposite. They are immoral, they are wicked, they are perpetually evil. They hate and they are criminal. They are murderers and they are liars and they are abominable. The opposite. And that's what those are following today are known as devil angels. That's why we don't eat anything that has devil on it. And that includes devil eggs, devil cakes, devil biscuits, devil cookies, and daredevil. We have nothing to do with devil. See, devil is the opposite. Evil. You remove the D, you have evil. But now we're the opposite, which is life. From right to left, L-I-V-E. Life. And we have all, and life and what? Life of divine, divinity, the D. Life of divinity. I think I just made that clear. Just I had to reiterate that for the sake of this benediction to make sure that they know who we are as a righteous and moral people. We're in a different color today
Hmm.
than that color that we had when we came over on slave ships. It's black. Angels also came down wearing black, but they were death angels. When I say different color, now white is not a color. When I say different color, I mean we took off the black, now we have on the purple. Got that? So this is the first month that we observe our festivities 3 annually. And we observe all our festivities of solar time, of the solar year 6026. Again, now we are on the 22nd day until sundown. And we'll continue on the 23rd day and on until we reach all 12 months of 30 days. Each one of our months are 30 days. You got it? Again, this is Saturday, April 1st, 2023. Make no mistake. That way, if someone come after me, I already put the date on record that there be thieves and robbers, as I said, that come after me. There'll be thieves and robbers. I also promised in the last days that I would gather all nations. All nations will be gathered before me, and they are on social media. It's called YouTube. It's called YouTube, and we also on social media is Facebook. So, I'd like to ask a question. Now that I've revealed that part of this mystery, revelation, what would you rather be? What would you rather be, a sheep or a goat? That question is being addressed to everyone who can see this video. I gave you my name. You don't need to know what see, that's my name. Now you have to figure out my title of Essential Lodge. Would you rather be a sheep or a goat? Well, let me see if I can assist you a little with that answer. There's a seed of Abraham that's here today in this land that was prophesied that would be here as strangers in a land that's not theirs. And they were also promised to be treated evil for 400 years as strangers in this land. But what you did not know is that before Judah went into bondage, before that seed went into bondage, I gave Abraham some instructions on what to do. After Mount Og placed him in a deep sleep, and I told Abram that it would be a seed that would come from him. His seed should sojourn, not tribe. I didn't say tribe, I said seed. I don't know why you thought it was tribe.
Yeah.
Because there are 2 tribes in bondage from Yisrael's loins, Yehuda and Lavi. You know Lavi today is Haitians and Haiti, that in bondage for the French, the Spaniards, and Yehuda in England. So what is the seed of Abraham? Let's go to it. Go to turn to Genesis chapter 15. You have to. I'm trying to help you with the decision that you want to make, whether you want to be a sheep or a goat. But I'm going to give you a hint. Sheep in English, you might as well write it down. It spells from left to right, S-H-E-E-P, sheep. Write it down. You know, this is right. I'm not here to entertain anyone. This is not church. You're not going to hear me. You're not going to hear me. And I promise you're not going to hear me breathe very hard through the larynx of my throat. I'm not going to breathe very hard through the larynx of my throat, as if I'm having an asthma attack. Entertain you. And then the women put their hand up and say, glory. Thank you. Saying about that, I'm not going to do that. like the pastor's falling asleep in the pulpit. Glory. I don't know why they do that. I don't know. What's the reason behind that? And then they hold it back like they got a pain. What's the purpose of that? And then stomp their feet, and they say the same thing over and over and over again. And the people go over and over again, no matter how many times he said it. And while he's doing that, they still have the same verse open up, and all he read was 2 words from the verse.
That's it. That's it. Don't follow.
He'll read 5 words in that verse, but when he get to the 6th word, which is God, then he stopped. And don't even say God the way he should. He say God and God. 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 Oh God. God. Yes, God. I say God. Glory. God. God. I'm not entertaining. You have to read. This is not church. You got to write. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You can't pay me either. The minute you pay me, I'll become your servant. Can't pay me. But you can pay something I would like for you to do. Pay attention. It's the big A. I'm not speaking the Big Apple either. I'm not speaking New York. It's the big A. Attention. As I was saying, sheep. Write it down. You wrote down SHEEP. Okay, so what's the first 2 letters? That's Shin. That's Hebrew. That's Shin. With the N. I left Shin in the East. That's why the E come after the SHE. You only left with the EP. You have SHEEP. Well, you have SH Sheen left in the East. Over here is sin. Right? You got Shin, sin. Shin is left in the East. Sin is over here in the West that I'm going to declare into Yaakov. In Israel is sin. That means you left with the EP from left to right. But from right to left, you're left with the people of the East. Shin were left in the East, and the people were left in the East. The other 10 tribes. And when you put that together, you have sheep. You do. Did you write it? Okay, you have SHEEP. Now go from right to left. PEEHS. That'll become a peach, huh? A peach or what? I'm giving you a peach. Would you like to have a peach? You have PE. That's P. Each letter scientifically is a word. Each letter scientifically is a word. You have the P. That P represents people. It also represents the pay, the mouth. You got it?
Yeah.
P, pay, the mouth. Right? Now you have E. The capital E of the English's idiom, the capital E is actually Beth. Beth, turned backward. If you write a capital E, right, and then turn it backwards, and you got Beth. You have Beth. You got it? Now you have the people, P, the mouth, the people from the east, and that's the mouth from the east who come to get the sons and daughters of God. Because that B, that Beth represents Beth Nun Sophie, Bath Nun Sophie, the sons and daughters of God. And if you want to use a P, you can use a people of the east or the people of the sons of God. See, Beth, what would it look like if it was turned the other way? Right? Beth. Beth. So you have the people from the east of God, his children, sons and daughters, P-E. Now you're left with the E-H-S, Ish. It's a word, Ish. You're also left with S-H-E, aren't you? So now you have she that's here with the people from the east. I'm going to introduce you to she in a minute. The she goat that left with Abraham. Is that not right? Don't you have S-H-E?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know why he thought it was sheep.
Okay.
Ain't no vowels in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even get that. If you transliterate sheep in Hebrew, you're not going to get a vowel like that. So you have, see, this is sin. S, sin, S-I-N. And here's the sheep in the east. Shin, the people of the east. All right? Now, you got Genesis chapter 15. Read verse 1.
Genesis 15:1.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, after these things, the word of the Lord.
The word of the Lord, not the Lord. Didn't say the Lord's word.
Mm-hmm.
The word of. See that of? That means someone is of the specialized representing the Lord there speaking that came. Did what? See, came into what?
Came unto Abram.
Before his name was changed to Abraham. Before the Hay was added. Before Hay and Mem Sophie was added for him. Hay, Mem Sophie. In the middle is I, him. And then you have also, you have Ma'ab there as the ram. You think it's Abram. Don't you see AB? That's Ab in Hebrew. Don't you see RAM? That's ram. And all of that, huh? You have the RAG with the RAM that you have garment. The rag, the garment with the T. Came to Abram in a vision, you know, like right now, a vision. I'm coming to Abram right now in a vision. Television, this vision that you see, Facebook, YouTube, vision. Saying what?
Saying, fear not.
Remember that. Fear not.
Abram,
Mm-hmm.
I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward.
Read on, verse 2.
Verse 2. And Abram said, Lord God.
See? He said, Lord God. You have God, Lord, in all caps, and God, lowercase. Why would he say that? Why would you think he'd say that? Why would Moshe leave that on record? Lord God. But because both were there.
Mm-hmm.
The son and the father and the son were there. Both were there. If only the father was there, it'd just be Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And if only the son was there, it'd only be a lowercase G-O-D. A capital G, lowercase O-D. It's just him. But see, that was that's just how they appeared before Moshe, too. Both were there in front of Moshe in Exodus chapter 3. Just before the children of Israel had to be delivered, they both came, and here they are again. The last days where Judah got to be delivered back in Lavi. What will what?
What wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless,
Mm-hmm.
and the steward of my house?
Childless. The children are not there now. All 12 tribes are not over in Israel right now. A remnant is here. But you find out what that remnant is. So you have to make up your mind. Do you want to be sheep or goat? And I left record for the devil to confuse him and deceive him. I fed him his own medicine. I gave him his own tactics. He's the world's greatest deceiver. But my father and I, we created the world's greatest deceiver.
Right.
You heard my father say he create peace. He make peace and create evil. Well, he created the devil. If he couldn't deceive, if my father couldn't deceive, then the devil would be God over here. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
See, God had to create evil. If he did not, then evil would become God. And my arm would be bound to the devil. And so would I. If I use the tactic of deception with the devil, then he can dominate the last days and he can rule forever. So I had to leave records so I could also deceive him and be camouflaged and become incognito and become two witnesses. And my father would protect me my father would be protecting me by becoming me. To keep them away from me. After he already told him I'd be a witness of one coming after me, whom you prefer before me. They didn't know that. I created deception. But I'm not deceiving my own people. See, I don't deceive my own. I deceive those who own them. I don't deceive my own, but I deceive those who want to own my own. They want to own them, but they're not going to own them because they're mine. What's thine is mine. My father gave them to me. They're mine. My people are mine, and they're not sheep. There are people from the east with sheep. I'm going to introduce she in a minute. You come up to she in a minute. Why you think she was called the sun-clad woman? In the mulberry trees. The mulberry trees of Dowd. I'm the root and offspring of Dowd. So she went, why? I go childless. And the steward, what?
And the steward of my house.
That's the STE. That's the ward of the STE. You see the ward? That means I have to draw up something right now. Or you think a steward. You got to go from right to left. Don't you see DRAW? I got to draw up something instead of what you saw, the EST, the ETS, which is the abbreviation for instead of, establish, ETS. I have to draw up something from the east. I have to draw up something that came from the east that's true as a shield. STEWARD, you think is steward. And the steward of my house. Don't you see it? I'm drawing up something for myself that's from the east, that's the truth for the sons and the daughters of my and of my house, which is this Eleazar
of Damascus.
That's the God. That's one God here with the rest of those of Zion and righteousness of all of us. The Damascus, even all those who are the Damascus of us, the hard-headed ones. Verse 3.
And Abram said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed.
See, no seed. How come you say seed here, but you go childless up there?
Right.
Do you think it's sperm? There's no vowels in Hebrew. We couldn't have said seed. And what? And
lo, one born in my house is mine heir. Verse 4. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying.
I thought that happened in verse 1. Now all of a sudden the word gonna start talking. In verse 4. What?
This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir.
Go ahead.
And he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now toward heaven.
And what?
And tell the stars.
There's no stars. Tell the ships. Tell the ships that are circular, shaped like an O, circular, round. Tell them what?
If thou be able to number them.
And they can't because they move too fast. You can't number them. If you can catch them.
Correct.
Those other things that they with lights, those are just lights of planets. You think they're stars. Those are lights. Bunch of suns. Who named them star anyway? And he what?
And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. Verse 6. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him.
What happened to God then?
Right.
How come he didn't believe in the Lord God? And he counted it to be what? He counted him what?
For righteousness. Verse 7.
Verse 7.
And he said unto him, I am the Lord.
Now Ma'ab is reminding him of something. I'm what?
I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit it.
Now only Ma'ab can give land because he created it. It's his land. He can give it to his son to divide it to whom he will. Verse 8.
And he said, Lord God.
Now he's talking to both again. What?
Whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? Verse 9. And he said unto him, Take me an heifer.
Now you got to take me a heifer 3 years old. Take me a heifer 3 years old. On the third day. You have heifers on the third day. They are disobedient. You got it? They're disobedient. And you got what?
And a she-goat of 3 years old.
On the third day. Hold it. That's on the third day. So you're going to have something that's disobedient, and you're going to have a she-goat, and what else?
And a ram of 3 years old.
And what else?
And a turtle dove. And a young pigeon.
Now those turtle doves and a pigeon, those turtle doves are those who are named after the God of the Hebrews, Yod. They're going to be the righteous children. You have the heifers that are disobedient. Now you have a she-goat that's going to direct all of them. Then you got a ram who's also going to be recognized as the one who will be guiding them. All symbolic with a position. And the turtle doves are slow, but they are righteousness. See, turtle doves, they're slow, but they're quick to gain their knowledge after being taught.
Wow.
And then you got the pigeons that are going to be fooled, like stewed pigeons. They're going to be deceived by the devil.
Wow.
I'm only interested in the turtle doves. Although all of them going to be gathered together. So what's the she-goat? What's the she-goat? And why a she-goat? Why? What is the she-goat? The she-goat is the opposite. There's a he-goat. So what is plural? Now you got goat, right? Now write it down. Write G-O-A-T. Goat. And under that, you're going to write plural. G-O-A-T-S. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that you have that, what about from the right? Write it from the right. See if you have STAOG. You have it?
Yeah.
Now pause here for a moment and go to Matthew chapter 25. Matthew chapter 25. Start at verse 1.
Matthew 25:1, quote, Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps, and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Verse 2.
Keep reading.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. Verse 3. And they that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. Verse 4.
Wonder why they would do that.
Mm.
Why would they not take oil with them? Because they had none. They had no oil. That's why their head wasn't anointed. They didn't want their head to be anointed. Why? Because they're heifers. Excuse me? The heifers. Read on. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. Verse 5. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. Verse 6.
See? And what?
And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him.
But they did not want to because their heads were not oiled. They had no oil. That all those virgins arose and turned and trimmed their lamps. 8.
And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil.
See, now that all of a sudden they realized that this man is not what I thought. I mean, he may be someone who was promised. And then look how we look with no oil. And I see how you're dressed. Won't you please share some of your dress and your wisdom with us? Read and see.
Give us of your oil, for our lamps are going out.
That's not true. You never had any. You never had any lights. Why would you say that? Go ahead, read.
Verse 9. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves.
You rather go and cater to those who want to sell their own products and go to them, get their oil. So, see, our oil was given to us by God. You don't want, you refuse that oil. So go on out there and get the oil that you trust in where they make it. Go get your own oil. You want to go to their feasts. You want to observe Passover when they say do it, so go on to them.
Right.
Read.
Verse 10.
Verse 10.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut.
Excuse me? The door, the way, the truth, the light, the door was shut. So I mean, those who want to do what they want to do, that door is going to be shut. And they're not going to be able to get in. That door is symbolized as Mem Sophie. You see it on my head. That's the last character from the right to the left. That's always left. Mem Sophie, the shut door. The other symbol of two. One of two symbols that have no beginning and no opening. Samek and Mem Sophie. And I'm smacking them right in the head with Mem Sophie. Read.
Verse 11. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord.
I changed my mind. I see you doing something that I've never seen before. You got to be the one Yahweh ben Yahweh was speaking of. Oh my goodness, I'll follow them. Please let us in. Have mercy on us, our son of David. Read.
open to us. Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said,
Verily I say unto you, I don't know you. I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know not neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. It could be right in the middle of you celebrating your feast of unleavened bread and Passover. And you don't know when he's coming. It could be right during a snowstorm that you're not expecting on April 1st. It could be right during a tornado that's coming right through your neighborhood that never happened before. Or a roof collapsing in Chicago or doing a concert. You have no idea who did it. Your train derailed in your city causing chemical spills that you now got to get a gas mask that I told you to get 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago to get one. You knew not when that sinkhole come and take away your house and open up the earth will ever swallow you in it because you're disobedient. It's also called an earthquake. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling to a far country in the west, who called his own servants to deliver unto them his goods. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to every one in those talents 5, that's hay, 2 beth, and 1 yod, to every one according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. You go your way, I go my way. Then he that had received the 5 talents, hey, went and traded them with the same, and made them other 5 talents. Come on, shalom, shalom. Yahweh is God. Yahweh is God. Let me just teach you something. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gave another 2. Even other 2 after that, other 2. Not limited. But he that had received 1 went and digged. He received 1 philosophy from those who only had 1 mind, not moving forward. He went and digged and hid his Lord's money of those who follow him. It'd be a big commotion. What you did with the money, man, bro? You know, we in this together. You know, Yahweh gone. We got our own organization. Like, what you do with the money? What you do with the money? And after a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckon with them, even from 2007. When they created in 2008, they created it. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, I got it. You gave them to me, I gave you 5 more. I gained 5. And also him that was given 2. After I said to the one with 5, you're a faithful servant. Come on in here. Come and enjoy New Jerusalem with me. The same one with the 2. Come on and enjoy it. We verse 23. You're faithful. Go ahead.
His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
See, of thy Lord. It's a joyful thing where I'm going. 24.
Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that
See,
thou...
I know how you are because I remember you from back in the days. Y'all been saying, he said how you are. So I know you wasn't going to do right anyway. I know. So you want to be somebody who you're not. So I was afraid to go do what you told me to do because I know you weren't going to be successful. I remember what happened in 1985. I remember how Yahweh sent you out with Naphtali. Am I supposed to put my trust in you today after he's gone? So I hid it. I ain't do nothing. But you know what? You should have put my money. You should have put my talent I gave you. I taught you. I've been teaching you to do a telestudy, pre-session. I've been teaching you. I've been writing books. I've been telling you. I even sent you a video, or audio recording back in 1992, but you didn't hear me. You did. You should have received my own. You should have received it with usury. But you know what? Take what I gave to you and give it to them. Him which had the 10 talents Give it to him since you don't want to do right. You don't believe because you're a non-believer. For to everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that had not shall be taken away, even that which he hath is going to be taken from you. And I'm casting you, ye unprofitable servant, unto outer darkness. No, you're going to be cast into inner darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. See, there's two darknesses. They have outer darkness. I'm going to reveal that today because I hear it. They were translated for them to believe it was outer darkness. How could that be? When you go outer darkness, it's not dark anymore. Did you hear me? You see? It says outer darkness. How could you be in darkness and now I'm putting you outer darkness? That means you're going into the light. You're outer darkness, not coming to the light. So I have them reversed. It's opposite. Why? Because you're reading opposite today. You're reading from left to right, not right to left. You are right to left people, not a left to right people. That's why I left Sheen in the east and brought Sin in the west. And I left it like that so Satan could get a hold to it and say, I know what he wants now. I'm going to want to be that sheep on the right hand. I don't have any sheep. I have people from the east with me who is the she goat. That's where we are right now, the she goat. You don't even know what the she goat is. I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm right now in 31. Because see, now I'm coming in my glory. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. I'm sitting there right now. What's my glory? We have verse 31. What is my glory? We got to go back for a moment to the she-goat. Go to Revelation chapter 12. Who's the she-goat? Read verse 1. Revelation chapter 12, verse 1.
Revelation 12:1 quote. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven.
You see, you're wondering right now who the she-goat is. And that heaven's in your mind. Now you're wondering. Well, I hear Yokishimia saying something about a she-goat. I wonder what that is in my mind in heaven. Huh?
Yeah.
And what?
A woman clothed with the sun.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the moon under her feet.
Yeah, so that means my Ab is Ab, right? Because you said it, you figured it out. My Ab is Ab. That's Ab, Alabeth, H1 and your strong concordance, Father. I'm Ba, the she-goat. And what kind of sound does the goat make? Ba. 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 The she-goat. That's the woman. You wonder what it is. Read verse 2, Revelation 12.
And she being with child.
Did what? I'm crying. Ba. Ba. Cried. What? Travail in birth.
Yeah.
And pain to be delivered. Not painting. Pain to be delivered. Deliver what? Her people. Her P-E. Right? Her EP from the PE from the right, from the east. Yeah, from Shin. And they're all dressed in mulberry. Known symbolically as the mulberry tree. The mulberry trees. But Now go to First Chronicles chapter 14. I'm breaking it down. Hidden. Go to First Chronicles chapter 14. Secrets to be revealed 2,000 years later. I was 1,900 years too early. And because he was revealing secrets, he could have been afforded to be left alive. So he killed him for it. Stripped him in his shorts. That's why his collarbone was broken, tilted to the side. Bah. First Kings chapter 14, start at verse 1.
First Kings.
I said First Chronicles.
14.
All that Chronicle, Corinthians. First Chronicles chapter 14, start at verse 1. Don't forget, we still in Genesis chapter 15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right now on the she-goat.
First Chronicles chapter 14, verse 1.
Read with Hiram.
Now Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David
Mm-hmm.
and timber of cedars with masons and carpenters to build him an house.
Read on.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And David perceived that the Lord had confirmed him king over Israel.
You got it? Oh, go ahead.
For his kingdom was lifted up on high
Mm-hmm.
because of his people Israel.
See the people? Israel. Go ahead. 3.
And David took more wives at Jerusalem, and David begat more sons and daughters.
You didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that. Read verse 4. And here they are.
Now these are the names of his
He
children.
didn't say sons.
Right. Children.
His children, which were in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Name them.
Shammua and Shobab, Nathan and Solomon.
There's Shlomo.
Yeah.
And who?
And Ibhar and Elishua and
Elpalet.
Elpalet.
Uh-huh.
And Noga and Nepheg
Mm-hmm.
and Japhia.
Japhia. And Lishima.
Elishama, and Biliad,
Biliada. Uh-huh.
Eliphalet.
And
when the Philistines heard that David was anointed king.
Wait a minute. Who appointed him king? The Philistines want to know who had the nerve. How you get to be king? And what?
Over all Israel.
But it did.
All the Philistines went up to seek David, and David heard of it and went out against them. And the Philistines came and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim.
They did? Wow. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 10. And David inquired of God, saying, shall I go up against the Philistines?
See how David don't do a thing without consulting to his own God?
Yeah.
Go ahead, or what?
And wilt thou deliver them into mine hand? And the Lord said unto him,
what?
Go up, for I will deliver them into thine hand.
How about that? And?
Verse 11. So they came up to Baal Perazim, and David smote them there.
He did what?
Smote them there.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Then David said, God hath broken in upon mine enemies by mine hand.
See how strong? Uh-huh. And what?
Like the breaking forth of waters. Therefore they called the name of that place Baal Perazim.
Uh-huh.
Verse 12. And when they had left their gods there, David
left what?
Their gods.
In plural?
Yeah.
They left gods there. Uh-huh.
David gave a commandment, and they were burned with fire.
What? Okay, what else?
Verse 13. And the Philistines yet again spread themselves abroad in the valley. Verse 14. Therefore David inquired again of God, and God said unto him, Go not up after them, turn away from them, and come up upon them over against the mulberry trees.
Excuse me? Mulberry trees. That's symbolic for people. And do what?
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And it shall be
that what?
When thou shalt hear a sound of going in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt go out to battle. For God is gone forth before thee to smite the host of the Philistines.
That is May 7, 2007. He went up before us. And now the mulberry trees are here. He's also going out before us today. Where they want to recognize his Passover, yeah, he's coming over this land and going to tear it up. Read the last verse,
Verse
17.
17. And the fame of David went out into all lands, and the Lord brought the fear of him upon all nations.
No, that's not some of the nations.
All nations.
What kind of trees you have?
Mulberry.
These are people. These people, in other words, they have something from the head to the top, to the bottom that they're wearing that is symbolic and allegorical of mulberry. It's also a synonymous and a synonym. Go to your dictionary. I told them to get a dictionary. Don't have one. So go to Google. You got it? Type in the search box, purple synonyms. You got purple synonym? Click on it. And then look at it. You should see somewhere in there, you're going to see lavender.
Mm-hmm.
Now look on it and see if you see mulberry someplace. Mulberry.
There it is, right there.
So mulberry is synonymous to purple.
That's crazy.
Now these purple people are also those that will be weeping with me.
Mm.
And the gnashing of teeth. The gnashing of teeth will be because they're angry.
Mm.
But they'll be cast into outer darkness to come into the light. They will also be recognized as goats.
Mm.
The GOAT. Go to your strong concordance. Get a search box. Type in mulberry and see if it takes you to H1056. And H. See who they are. And see if it takes you to H1058. See if these not those who weep with me. Bewailing. Why? Pain to be delivered with me. Cried. You with the woman. The she-goat. This is still a she-goat now. You have it?
Okay, I'm putting it up now.
Okay.
We're going to the 1056.
1056. Get mulberry. What does it say?
Okay, weeping.
Weeping. What else? Anything else other than weeping? Go to 1050. Huh? Go to 1058.
To weep, bewail, cry, shed tears.
Right.
Yeah. To weep in grief, humiliation,
And humiliation. You got joy.
Or joy.
So you got that came from the mulberry. I mean, they're wearing purple. They're wearing mulberry. These trees look like mulberry trees that walk around with purple on today. Is that what you have? Okay. Exactly right. Walk around with a sun-clad woman, pain to be delivered, and crying. Bah. Huh? All day. Weeping. Trees, 1058, right? Right. Make a note of it. Wow. How they weeping? By wearing color purple. It's allegory. That's how you're weeping.
Wow.
Not physically, but every time you walk out, you're crying, you're weeping, you bah with color purple on, with your purple garments on, your garments. It's a garment. I cause what my garment in plural garments. Themselves. Now go to Revelation chapter 1. You have a garment. I have garment down to the foot. I'm girded about the path with a golden girdle. Go to Revelation chapter 1. The garment of grapes. You're crying by wearing grapes. People see it. And some may even cry when they see what his grapes are wearing. You have a garment down to the foot. We got it. Read verse 13.
13. Revelation 1:13, quote, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
You got it? Clothed with a garment. Didn't say anything with robe or clothing. Clothed with a garment down to the foot. And these feet, 1 foot, but these feet, 1 foot, because one foot is angels. Feet would be all the tribes.
Mm.
But 1 foot are the angels, a particular mulberry tree. Mulberry trees. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, now that means that you have to now look in your search box and go to garment and see if it takes you to Remit. It's all hidden. This is all put in codex, cryptic, so they wouldn't be able to figure it out, especially in the last days. I also gave this to Jacob at the end, and said that these would be, in verse 11, blood of grapes. You type in garment and go to it, see what number it gives you. Okay, keep going until you find the word remit. It's going to take you to it. I guarantee you. I'm not looking.
First reference.
What's the first reference?
8071.
What's it give you? You may have to go to the etymology.
Yeah. Oh, it's there. Remnant.
Remit?
Yeah, rapper.
Well, we got to go, huh?
Rapper, Mantle.
Okay, now Mika's the same one as the Sunclad woman. Mika's the same one. That means Mika hid it in his book. Now I go to Mika chapter 5 and see what the many people on the trees, the mulberry trees. Mika chapter 5, read verses 7 and 8. Remit, you got?
Yeah.
All right. This is coming from garment. They thought it was something that was being worn. Even when my arm went around on this tour, he even said that clothed with a garment down to the foot of his physical appearance self that he was dressed in. Deceiving. Out to get only those who would come. Yeah, to be with me at the end. They were already chosen. See, it doesn't matter how many people went out and came. The electors already chosen before the foundation of the world. They know who I am. They want to come. We had to go around and give everyone else a chance to invite them to come. That's what it was us. That's what's going on now. We are inviting you to come and live with us. Whether you accept it or not, it's up to you. But if you accept it, you come and live forever. You reject it, you're going to go and burn in hell. I don't see Revelation. Revelation does not have weeping and gnashing of teeth. Go out and it don't have anything about outer darkness. It's not in there. Revelation 21 and 8 does not have where there be weeping and gnashing of teeth and outer darkness. It says you be burned to nothing with the second death. What do you have in Micah chapter 5?
Chapter 5, verses 7, quote,
What it says?
and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people.
Do what?
The remnant
Of Jacob. The same thing you had there,
can.
which is a garment of people. In the midst of many people. See the people?
Can.
As what?
As a dew from the Lord.
Up above. And what?
As
Now you're right back in Genesis chapter 15. Like the stars of heaven, you can count it. What else?
as the showers upon the grass,
Mhm.
and tarrieth not for a man, nor waiteth for the sons of men.
What? No wait for the sons of men? Now, somewhere in here, maybe in the next verse, you're going to read it both threaded down and tear the piece, not going to deliver.
Verse 8.
That should tell you right there something's wrong with that. Something got to go with that. That means one going to be ascended and no one going to be staying here. But he have to be able to reveal the mysteries of what happened for those who stayed to be delivered. Read what?
And the remnant of Jacob.
Again? The remnant of Jacob, those who are with me. Or does that say the remnant of Judah?
Jacob.
So what's that got to do with Judah? The remnant of Jacob is hidden in chapter 49 of Genesis, which are the mulberry trees. To be with Shiloh. Read on, what else?
Shall be among the Gentiles in the midst
Here
of
we are
many
in the
people.
Gentiles, among many people, which includes Judah.
Yeah.
And what?
As a lion among the beasts of the forest,
Right.
as a young lion among the flocks of sheep.
What?
who, if he go through, both tread it down and tear it in pieces, and none can deliver it.
Now go to Genesis chapter 49. And read verse 11. Or read verses 10 first. Verse 10 and 11. See, Shiloh have to be here in order for this to happen. Shiloh have to be here giving the law. It says what? We good.
Genesis 49:10.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet,
Why? Until what?
until Shiloh come,
Okay.
and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Binding his foil unto the vine, and his ass's coat
See?
unto the choice
Then right
vine.
back, you see? And what?
He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes.
Got it? So that means you follow me. The blood of grapes is purple
And,
and dyed. That means everything you had white, you dyed in the blood of grapes. It became purple. That's what you wear now when they see you on in the street in public, or even they see you on a photograph on social media. They wonder how you got your purple. Well, the secret is called RIT clothes dye. RIT clothes dye. You call it what? Eggplant, lavender,
Royal
purple, royal purple. Right?
Yeah.
That means go. Don't leave that. Go to chapter. Stay there and go to verse 1 and 2 so you can see what's supposed to happen.
Verse 1, quote, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Now, verse 2.
Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
Okay, you got it. The last days. It's happening now. Now go back where we started. Go back to Genesis chapter 15. Read verse 9 again. All over again. And I'm going to show you how this is connected to Passover. The same goat. Read verse 9 all over again.
Verse 9, quote, and he said unto him, take me an heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon.
Okay. Let's go back to the goat. Remember, it's a she-goat?
Mm-hmm.
So now you know the she-goat. The she is the woman, the sun-clad woman. The she is sitting here with you now. Now you got to look at the goat. What's the goat? Spell it. Write it down. G-O-A-T. We're going to do the singular first. Then we're going to do the plural. There's one goat.
Mm-hmm.
The one goat, the she-goat. And you have to be with this goat. You got it? You spelled it? G-O-A-T.
Yeah.
Now, where did the goat come in? Now go to it. Go to Acts chapter 1, verse 11. See, something took this goat up. And then when he came back, he became plural. Goats. 2 witnesses. Read
Acts chapter 1, verse 11.
We'll say, read verse 10.
Starting
And
verse
then
10.
11. Yeah. And what?
And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold,
He went up in something. Round. Circular motion. Going like this. And what?
behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Christ, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
Now, he went up into something round, like a circle. You can read more of that in Ezekiel chapter 1. Today they call them UFOs, celestial spacecrafts. He came back the same way in 1953. Shook hands with Dwight. Them big hands.
Can't.
Placed him in a womb, snatched that womb. Invasion of the body snatchers took over that womb to take on a seed of a human form. Right?
Can't.
So since he came back a light man, did you write down goats?
Mm-hmm.
Well, since he came back, now he's plural. So now you gotta write down goats. Right? Okay, now you got that. Now you have goat and goats. Now go back down again, and you're gonna write goat again, but this time you're gonna separate the O and the A. Separate the O and the A. You should have go at.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go at something now. See, what you're going at now is going to be Passover. Because I'm going after those who are recognizing Passover today and Feast of Unleavened Bread that they shouldn't on April 1st. Told them not to. Can't you see what's going on? Now, that means you got to find go at someplace. And it's there, it's hidden. Go at. You thought it was goat, the she goat coming after you. Go to your search box of your concordance and type in goat. Did you do that yet? No. So type in goat. Search. You got goat? Okay. Click on it. The first goat you come to should be in our subject, chapter 15. The first time that the word goat even come in existence, right there. Is that right?
Right.
Click on it. It gave you she goat, right? That's not what it is, though. You have to find somebody strong. You got to be strong. Go to it. You should go to H.
Go to the etymology.
You have the etymology. You already know it's a she goat. You got to go to etymology. What's the etymology? You find somebody strong. What? You got to be strong. What?
To be strong.
You got to be strong. It had nothing to do with the goat, what you thought it was. Although when the S is added, it becomes goats. I mean, you have to be, since you are joining the cry, you are joining the purple, you are crying and joining the purple of the mulberry tree. You're crying too, right? With your purple. So you have to be strong. Because Zach Veymans, you got to be strong and do it to the end.
Yeah.
Even the first shall be last, the last first. Right?
Yeah.
So now you know you have to be strong. You thought it was goat. You have to go at somebody and be strong. You got to go at strong. Now go back to your search box. Go back, you at the search box. You got goat.
Yeah.
Separate the A and the O. You got to go at it. That's going to take you to Passover. You got to be strong during Passover because we're going at them. We're warned. Or did you not read verse 7 of Revelation chapter 12, where Michael's angels fought? It's a war.
Right. Yeah.
You got it? You have go at? You should find Exodus chapter 12 there.
You have it.
Go to it. Start at verse 1. Exodus chapter 12.
Exodus 12:1, quote, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying,"
What?
verse 2, "This month shall be unto you the beginning of months."
It is. Right now, where we are right now, when I'm revealing this, it was promised that in the last days I would come reveal all of these parables and mysteries and revelations. And I'm doing it at a certain time. I'm doing it now. It'll be the first month. I revealed more this first month than I've ever had. It should be what? What else?
It shall be the first month of the year to you. Verse 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying,
Mhm.
At the 10th day of this month.
We're not going to recognize that. Because that's what they did.
Mhm.
Go to verse 17. Because if you know that's bogus,
Yeah.
how are we going to eat a lamb, put it up, or find this lamb? Same he lamb. No blemish. Read verse 17.
Verse 17, quote, And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread.
That's what the subject is. And that's what they're doing. I gave them and I told them as the law, as Shiloh, I told them there's no more unleavened bread.
Mhm.
There's no more Passover.
Mhm.
We passed over. Now you rise and you eat leavened bread. And that bread was not physical. That's the bread of life. Rise your mind up to come out of that old leaven. Put on a new lump.
New law.
But they want to stay unleavened. Okay, since you do, read it. Read on.
For in this self same day have
See,
I
they
brought-
did it themselves. The self same. They doing it themselves. Or what?
have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever.
By a law?
Ordinance.
So you have to know that law. You have to observe this day by a particular ordinance, not law. And that ordinance would be given by Shiloh.
Right.
Read verse 18.
In the first month, on the 14th day of the month,
Now
at
they
even.
now they give you the 14th day of the month
Okay.
at even.
Good.
And we went to chapter 14 a few moments ago,
Mhm.
didn't we?
Yeah.
In First Chronicles,
Mhm.
chapter 14,
Mhm.
where I found the mulberry trees.
Right. Right.
What? At even.
Ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread.
Read 21.
Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, Draw out and take you a lamb according
Now
to
you
your
got the
families,
lamb. Uh-huh.
and kill the Passover.
Do what?
Kill the Passover.
That's what you're supposed to do. But they wouldn't kill it. See?
Mhm.
When the lamb comes, you kill a Passover.
That's it. It's over.
And here the lamb is as you turn the P upside down.
Mm.
And here your lamp is to put you in outer darkness.
What?
You didn't know what that meant. Don't you see it say kill a Passover?
Yeah.
When your lamb come and turn that P of the people, they were turned upside down in the west. They were right side up as people in the east. But when they came over in the west, they took the P and turned it upside down.
Mm.
It became a lamb. Now you got to go back and turn it right side back the way it is supposed to be, lowercase. And now you got lamp.
Mm.
Read verse 22.
Verse
And see
22.
this. And see.
Yeah. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood.
You should take a bunch of his soup and dip it in the blood that is in the basin. The blood of what? The grapes.
Mhm.
And strike what?
The lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning.
They don't see that. You see what happens when they go out? Read verse 23.
Verse 23.
Because what's going to happen?
For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians. And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you.
But they wouldn't do that. They're hard-headed. And you see what's going on now? I guarantee you, started from yesterday, or 2 days ago with these tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, all this week in this land called the United States of America, Ma'ab is going to go through it and smite everyone who disobedient to this, even his own children. Don't you see Mississippi? Our people on the news in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Genesis chapter 15 now. And read verse 10.
Genesis 15:10 quote. And he took unto him all these and divided
them in the midst. I'm going to do it now. And we're going to go back in a moment to Matthew 25. I'm going to divide them. And what?
And laid each piece one against another.
And that's what's going on. They're now going against each other. They're going against us. One against another. The heifers divide themselves from the rams and from the she-goat and from the turtle doves or the pigeons. They divide them. So I divided them.
Yeah.
Right? But the birds, which are the pigeons and the doves, I divided them not. I'm not dividing them. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abraham drove them away.
Get away. When those birds come, leave them alone. Hurt not the oil and the wine. Read it.
Verse 12.
Verse 12.
And when the sun was going down.
I thought it was already down. I thought he was already in a deep sleep. What happened?
A deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him.
Oh, great darkness. You got to be cast out of that darkness. Do you see it? You got to be cast out of darkness. Will there be weeping and gnashing of teeth? Weeping what? The tears of grapes. The mulberry tree. And what?
Verse 13.
What? Now here is the verse that my put in the book that no one could comprehend or understand till today. Read it. Let's see. Let's bust this wide up. What?
And he said unto Abram,
what?
Know of a surety.
You can be sure what?
That thy
seed, children says children. Shall be a what?
Shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
Now, hold it. You wrote down goat. Now, we didn't get the goats yet, did we? Okay, that seed is grain that you would come back as some other grain. That grain that you come back as a seed would be like the oat. The oats with God. G-O-A-T-S. Now write down goats and separate the G from the O. And you got God with the oats, some other grain that you're going to be given a body. Now you're right back in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. How could that body die except it be of some other grain? Some other wheat. You have G, separate that, you got God. That G is for God, even Gimel. And you got O-A-T-S, the oats of God. Right?
Yeah.
Now you got down goats again. Write it down again. All scientifically proven to be a letter of each word has meanings of their own. You wrote down goats. Now I came back in the round thing. Now you got to take out the O. And what you got? Write goats again and take out the O. What you got?
Yes.
That's not what you have. You still got left to right mind. Now write down from right to left and see if you have a stag. You got stag?
Got it.
Okay. Got separate you. I'm separating you. You have stag.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're alive today. You are alive in a different body. And in your body you have a heart. Now write down heart. Write down heart. This is 400 years. You got down heart?
Got it.
Okay. Now, how'd you spell it?
H-E-A-R-T.
Huh? No. You have, see, I'm the art.
Yes, you are.
Where art thou? I'm the art.
No doubt.
Why would you write down Heart? He is the art. I'm the art.
Mhm.
You wrote it, write it together, Heart, but this time separate the E and the A. He art. I said write down heart. You wrote down he art. Now try to get it write down Hart. And I turn to Song of Solomon chapter 8. Write down Song of Solomon chapter 8. Which is the last chapter of the Octagon.
It is. Yeah.
It is? You are the vineyard. You're in the vineyards. Right? Read verse 1.
Verse 1 quote, "Oh, that thou wert as my brother,
Mm-hmm.
that sucked the
See?
breast
See?
of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
When I should find thee without, I would kiss thee. Yea, I should not be despised."
Mm-hmm.
Verse
Go ahead.
2,
Verse 2.
"I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house. Who would instruct me? I would cause thee to drink of spiced wine, of the juice of my pomegranate."
There it is. Now, go back and see if you have a synonymous word under purple that gives you take to the pomegranate. You still have it up there?
Yeah, we got it. Pomegranate right there.
That's purple.
Purple.
Now go on down to verse 11.
Verse
My soul desired the first ripe fruit of the great gleanings of the vintage. There's no cluster to eat. Look how few it is in here of us.
11.
Read verse 11.
Verse 11 quote, "Salomo had a vineyard at Baal Hamon. He let out the vineyard unto keepers.
And what?
Every one for the fruit thereof was to bring 1,000 pieces of silver."
You know, you did. You sold a ransom for your soul.
Verse 12.
You bought a ransom for your soul. What else? You paid a ransom for your soul, rather. You paid a ransom for your soul.
Yeah.
Verse 12.
"My vineyard, which is mine, is before
Excuse me? See, my vineyard, which is mine, is before me. Right now, thou, O Salomo, must have 1,000 in those that keep the fruit thereof, 200. Read on.
Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
"Thou that dwellest in the gardens, the companions hearken to thy voice. Cause me to hear it.
Right? Now read the last verse.
Make haste,
Check it out.
my beloved."
Wait, check it out. The last chapter of Shlomo, the last verse. It also happens to be 14.
Right.
That's your 14 days of Exodus.
Well,
Hidden right there. That they thought they were supposed to count 14 days from the first day.
mm.
And yet they're catching hell right now. Observe this April 1st. Read and see where your heart is.
Make haste, my beloved, and be thou like to a roe or to a young hart upon the mountains of spices.
Right. The mountain of spices, the oil.
Mm.
Now go to your search box and type in H-A-R-T, not H-E-A-R-T. He art thou. He art thou. Type in H-A-R-T now. And where does that take you? So you can see what it is. You go
We
right.
have it, we have it.
Hmm?
Now,
You have H.
Baptized in 9 verses.
Yeah, HRT, right?
Okay.
I'm taking you right back to Genesis chapter 15, and why you ought to put that blood of grapes on the doorpost.
We have it on the H354.
No, you want it under 8. You don't want that. You want the etymology.
Okay.
And what's it take you to? Take you right back to you got to be a strong man, a leader. What's it take you?
Take you to H352.
And what you have.
We have a ram, strong man, leader.
That's where you have to be. Right,
Mighty tree.
right. And since you bought so much silver, as you being tried as silver is tried, and refined as gold is refined, or silver is refined, being tried as gold is tried.
Okay.
Now go to that etymology and what you come up with.
So the H193.
Prominence and wealthy man.
Can. Noble, wealthy man. Can.
Now you know that seed shall be a stranger in land is not theirs. You are that seed, not tribe. Thy seed. You are that seed, not Judah. Judah's a tribe. Levi is a tribe. What seed are you? That seed that bear grain or some other grain, some other, wheat, barley, and now you know your oat. Now go back to Matthew chapter 25 as we close. And now you got the mystery of the goats and the sheep. You got hart, you got stag. STAG. Oh, did you know that? Did you see stag there?
Yeah.
We go back to hart and see if you find stag there. They come from goats, backward, without the O. What's the first reference?
It's on the H354.
And what you got?
Stag.
Stag, without the O, came in the O. You put the O there, and go from right to left. You got goats.
Yeah.
You see it? Stag. Right? All you do is put the O, what? Right between the A and the O and the G.
Yeah.
And go from right to left. You run back at GOATS, goats. Let's go where the goats are. So now you got the mystery of what I left this as a parable. I left it as a parable, and they took it literally. Okay, now you did 15. You read 15.
In Matthew 25.
Mm-hmm. Well, before you do, I got to give you the mystery. Go to Matthew chapter 9 and read verse 30, I believe it is. Chapter 9, verse 30. Because I want to show you the mystery on what's last and what's first. Which shall be last and which shall be first. Which shall be last? I think it's there. Which shall be last? Which shall be first? And maybe, is it 9:30? Let me see. Or maybe 19. 19, chapter 19. Chapter 19, verse 30. And there's another one. Right, the next chapter also. Read that.
Matthew 19:30, quote. But many that are first shall be last.
Many are what? Didn't say what the many would be.
Mm-hmm.
And what?
And the last shall be first.
Got it? That last, see, many that are last shall be first. That means from right to left.
Mm.
And then from left to right. Why? Because you would be speaking a different language from right to left. They were speaking from left to right. So I got to put something on my left hand, and I got to put something on my right hand.
Mm.
What you think is my right hand, you think is right. That's what's left.
God.
Because what's left is right.
Left foot,
What's going to be left is right.
left foot, right.
And what you think is right, that's what's left. Go to chapter 20. Then go to the next chapter and read verse 14. The very next chapter, 20. Read verse, I believe it's 16. Read verse 16.
Yeah. Verse 16,
What?
quote, so the last shall be first, and the first last.
Right. And what else?
For many be called,
Many be called to stand before me,
but few chosen.
but few are chosen. Now let's see what's going to be last and what's going to be first. Now go to Matthew. Now go to chapter 25. Go to a few more chapters after that. I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. I'm here to fulfill what I said, promised I would. I told you I would. Read now from verse 21. Well,
Yeah, when you last read it, I think you read.
at 21?
You stopped at verse 30.
Okay. I stopped at verse 30?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me go from 30. And that says, well, I'm going to go to 31. Well, I said, let me read 30 again. I quote, and cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, what if that was not unprofitable? It is unprofitable because you did not profit from the lies of Satan. You did not inherit his lies. So you are unprofitable of his lies. And now I'm going to cast you into outer darkness that you come into the light, where you'll be weeping as a mulberry tree
Yeah.
in the purple. Where there would be, they say weeping, yes, and gnashing, huh? Really, of gnashing, or is that the ash, the G? How about singing like you sang a song of teeth? You haven't studied teeth. Why would the teeth be gnashing? How come you can't put a D with a GNS and put dashing? Verse 31, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. As I'm sitting right now. This is my glory in here.
Yeah.
How could that be? If you thought I was a spaceship, then how would that be? Who's going to stick around when they see the spaceship landing? All the science fiction movies that this devil put in their face to let you know what's going to come out of that. Could you see Judas standing there waiting to see what's going to come out of it? And before him shall be gathered all nations as they are right now. He shall separate them, as I just did, the one from another. Genesis chapter 15, with the he-goat, the ram, the turtle doves, the pigeons, separating them one from another as a shepherd. See, not like a shepherd, but as a shepherd, divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand. And I did. I set the sheep on my right hand, and I told you what's right about them. And I went from right to left. P-E, and then the E-S-H. That you got people from the east with she on the right hand. I went from right to left. The goats on the left, and I did. I told you to go from left to right, and I separated the O from the A. And now you got the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on the right hand, Come ye from the east with me to she, blessed of my father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. I left way back in Matthew, where you are now, over 2,000 years ago. For I wasn't hungry, and ye gave me meat. When I sat with you and said, You have any meat here? Any fish? And you brought me the word, and we sat down and we ate and drank together. I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink, and it was my blood. I told you it was my blood to drink. I was a stranger in the land that's not theirs, but you, as we are now. You took me in. I was a stranger in your life, in the same land. You took me in. You didn't know who I was, but you brought me in. You sat with me, and here we are now, right? I was naked wearing white, and then you put me in, you clothed me, but now we're wearing purple. You clothed me. I was sick and tired of this devil, and you visited me even during the feast. And I was in prison in the mind with Satan, and you came into me, even as we are now in prison in this land. It's not ours. And you came into me. You left your sins and you came. But you wondering how would that happen? How we did all these things? Well, I just told you. Because the least that you did to all of those that you were with, even with me, you did the same with me. You did the same unto me. Now, those of you that are on the left, you got to come too. You got to go. All of those on the left, from left to right, you got to depart. You got to depart from me. You got to depart from me. Because you're cursed. You got to come and depart from ME. Come from ME. And come to EM. Come over with EM. With me, I'm from the east. And come from the west and go back with me to the east. Where it's going to be everlasting fire. Prepare for the devil. You want to stay here in the west? Just stay with the west. You want to stay with the west mind? Stay in the west mind. You want to stay and be prepared for the DEVIL, the LIVE? Then do that. For I was a hunger, and you're not coming with me. You gave me no meat. You paid no attention. Thirsty, you didn't give me anything to drink. You're not coming with me. You didn't come in to see me in Miami? Visit me not? You didn't clothe me while I was in prison. You didn't give me any clothes. You say I shouldn't be wearing purple. When you did all those things. When? When did you do those things? When you did not do those things. You should have been doing them. So verily I say unto you, as much as you did this not, it's the one of the least of these, my people. You did it to me. So you're going to go into everlasting punishment if you don't come. You got it? And then at the same time, those who do come, I'm going to cast you, remember, I'm going to cast you into outer darkness, where there be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yeah.
The first shall be last, the last first. What were you thinking? See, if you follow my soul, you'll know that I'm not here to bring death, but life everlasting. I don't wish death upon my people, and all of them are mine. I don't wish that, but I do wish it upon the devil. So I have two, see, that's the two sticks of Ephraim. I give my people a chance on both sides, left and right, the sheep and the goat. You think I'm going to gather the... See, it doesn't say devils. It says sheep and the goat. Now I reveal the mystery of the goats and the goat. The same people. They just have a different mindset. The same people, different mindset. Some want to continue to observe Passover, and then some came with me as we passed over. Some want to continue to do Feast of Leavened Bread, as they do as we pass over, and some want to continue the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Well, you didn't read where it said kill the leaven, Kill. It said kill the unleavened.
Kill the Passover.
It said kill the Passover,
Kill
but they don't want to do that. I'm not trying to prove a point. I already did. You're just not accepting it. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
I just pray they come out of it. You have a chance to come sit on the left or the right. Is it who you want to be? Now to answer the question from the beginning. Would you want to be a sheep or a goat?
Mm.
What side did you want to sit on? Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Well, I pray that they come before it's too late. And that would be like, that's all that I have to say today. That's all I have to say.